Coming up in Finding G-Spots, how nice is the first class train from Hamburg all the way to Copenhagen? Let's find out. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So as you know, we had a beautiful holiday in Europe and we visited the lovely city of Copenhagen, and we took the train there from Hamburg. So our journey begins in Hamburg, of course, and I thought I might just mention, if you are in Hamburg, it's quite famous for its theatre shows, and while we were there, we saw the wonderful production Harry Potter und das verwunschene Kind, which translates to Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and I have to say it was a wonderful production. We absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. But anyway, on to our trip. So we left Hamburg, and I must say I do like the Hamburg train station. It's one of the nicer train stations in Germany. It's a no smoking train station, which I think they all should be. So that was really lovely. You didn't have to stand there and breathe in everyone's smoke. And anyway, here we are. We left Hamburg, and there's a quick look at our seats here. So there you've got 6 people seated in your this little area here, and you've got luggage storage, of course, at the top there. Now the seats do recline a little bit. Unfortunately, my seat didn't recline that well. And when we started the journey off, it was quite cool in Hamburg, and it was quite cold. We were all wrapped up, but as you'll see later on, the weather gets very, very nice. So yeah, here's another look at the seats there. So you can see they're very comfortable seats. And you've got a little table in the middle if you need it as well. But anyway, let's sit back and relax and have a little bit of a look at some of the first lot of scenery in Germany. So just out of interest, we're in carriage number 12, and if you're not familiar with trains, so there's an aisle on one side, and then you've got all the compartments on one side of that, so you can just go into each compartment. And right at the front, before it goes to the next train, you can see they've got this little area here where there's toilets, which I'll show you later, and there's also like a speed, so you can see how fast the train is going. Now this particular train is not an ice train, which means it does stop, so it's not a high-speed train. Now one of the major bridges that we cross is called the Rendsburger High Bridge, and this goes over a canal, and this is like in far northern Germany. So check out this amazing bridge, which was built over 100 years ago. So as I mentioned before, just before you get to the next train, there's this little area where the speed indicator is, and there's also the bathroom facilities, which you can see here. So it's quite a large area. It's much bigger than an airline bathroom, one you get on a plane. So that was a nice area if you need to freshen up or go to the toilet. Of course, Germany has a lot of wind turbines, and amazingly I also saw a very large solar farm all the way up there in northern Germany, so great effort. Now here's another look at the aisle there, so you can see The compartments with the first class are on the right, and each compartment seats those 6 people, like I said, with the table in the middle. And so you're free to wander up and down, which is also nice. And yeah, my wife and her sister fell asleep at this part of the journey while I was filming. And this part of the journey is very nice. So this is far northern Germany, just before the border to Denmark, and there's a lot of farming land around here, and it's very nice. And we're just about now to hit the border, and this is our first look at Denmark. So now here we're heading into the first town in Denmark, which is called Padborg. And yeah, it looks very similar to Germany. Of course, just the writing and the signs and everything are all now in Danish. And yeah, it was exciting to be in Denmark, another new country. So this was our first look at it. And the weather was just starting to become very nice, which was really good as well. So it was a little bit warmer, we could see glimpses of the sun. And I'm pleased to say the weather started to improve now. So the train doesn't get anywhere near the 300 kilometers an hour you see on the German ice trains, but we do hit 177 kilometers an hour. So just after we pass Kolding, the train turns right and we start to head east towards the very large island Funen Island, and of course we're heading towards Odense, which is the 3rd largest city in Denmark, and there's lots of beautiful countryside, so sit back and enjoy this part of our journey. I'll just mention too, once we got over the border into Denmark, somebody also came around and gave us like a little package of food too. So I can't remember exactly what was in it, but it was like little sandwiches, little crackers and stuff you could put on it. So that was very nice of them. So like you get a little bit of a food service and a bottle of water. And there's also somebody who walks around and you can actually buy other stuff from them as well. So if you wanted to buy some other food, you can also do that as well. But there is no dining cart on the train as far as we were aware. Now at this part of the journey, we're just about to head into Nyborg, and we're just on the other side of Funen Island, and after that we go through and we're about to go onto an amazing long bridge, which is an amazing engineering project. So it's absolutely spectacular weather, and you can see here just in the screen, you can see this really long bridge which we cross, and it's called the Great Belt Bridge, and it links the islands of Funen with the next island of Zealand. And yeah, it's an 18-kilometer bridge, and part of it we go actually underground. We go past a little island and then we go underground. But it's an amazing bridge and a really amazing engineering feat. So have a look and enjoy this amazing bridge that we crossed, the Great Belt Bridge. Then we reached the quite large Copenhagen train station, and we were so excited to be in Copenhagen. And you know, we were there in good time. Just out of interest, the train trip takes around 5 hours to get there, and I can't give you the price because my sister-in-law actually paid for our tickets, which was very nice of her. Anyway, there we are in Copenhagen. We stayed in the north of the city, right here near a harbour, and I have to say it was a lovely place to stay. We had mixed weather while we were there, but certainly that first day was beautiful, and we did have another lovely day, and we did some amazing stuff in the city of Copenhagen, which is a beautiful city. If you've never been before, can highly recommend it. There's so much to do, lots of things to do, which we packed into 4 days, but gee, you could easily spend a few weeks there. There's so many things to see, and especially this beautiful Frederiksberg Castle, which I'm going to do a review on very soon actually. That was a magnificent place to visit. So you can see there's a little map here. You can see where you head north first, and then of course you head east towards Copenhagen. So one of the great things about travelling by train, of course, is that you get to see lots of beautiful scenery, and it's a good way to really have a feel of a country, to see what the housing is like and the farmland and all sorts of things. So it's definitely a lovely way to travel if you've got the time. But that was well worth it. So there you have it. That's the first class trip we did from Hamburg to Copenhagen. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed the trip as much as what we did. And stick around because we've got some fantastic reviews coming up. Many of them actually from Denmark and Copenhagen. So we've got some great content to look forward to. Alright, this is G signing off from FindingGspots. You guys take care out there, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.